Yeah. So like every part of a wedding is a scam, and it really makes me mad
Okay, I'll
because
buy it.
I love my future wife, and I would give her the world. But if I don't have to
You
give her
won't.
the world, and someone's trying to make me pay for the world, and like they're using my love for her as a means to be like, so you have to buy the world, and it's like, no, I don't.
I
That
feel like it's less using your love for her and more, in my experience, uh, however long ago, this 7 years ago. Um, yeah, I know. It was more less my love for her, so pay up, and more just like feeding into the bridezilla
mm,
thing. Like, you need to do this, otherwise your wife is going to be mad at you,
mm.
type of thing.
I feel similarly about it the way I feel about higher ed, where like society pushes on the youth that they need to do this in order to have like a successful life, and in this
Yeah.
case it's like a successful wedding. Like you need to have all the flowers, and you need to have it recorded on video, like professional video, and all this stuff. And then the people who provide those services are like, yeah, $1 million. And it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but could you like provide maybe photography for like my niece has a soccer game on Saturday. Could you come do that? And they're like, yeah, $20.
Yeah. Yep. No, I get it. I mean, um, we were not in a place where we could afford really big stuff when we got married. I'm trying to think of like what I think the thing we spent the most money on,
Mhm.
and I couldn't even tell you a number if I wanted to. I genuinely do not remember. The thing that we probably spent the most money on was the bar.
Oh, really?
And what we did was,
Was it open?
so we did open bar before dinner.
But like,
So
did you have to pay for like a set amount, or were they at the end like, okay, during the open bar, like 200 drinks were taken, so pay for the 200?
I don't remember. All I remember is the bar was open. So our wedding was, I want to say, at maybe 1-ish on a
Oh,
Saturday.
like PM?
Yeah, on a
Nice.
Saturday. The ceremony was maybe 30 minutes. It was not very long. And then we went and took our pictures. Around, we had specific places we wanted to take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we took pictures at the venue where our reception was. So, but people could start showing up for the reception as soon as the ceremony was over.
Mm.
But dinner wasn't until like 5. So basically, from like 2 to 5, the bar was open and you could get whatever you wanted.
Nice.
Then, as soon as dinner started, we just paid for beer and wine.
Okay.
So after dinner started, beer and wine, if you wanted cocktails or anything else, you had to pay for it.
Sure.
And we did dinner buffet style. So we just got the place where we had our reception catered.
Mm.
They excused them table by table and buffeted it up. It's glorious.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good food too. It was just easy stuff like beef tips, potatoes, corn, like just very country style, like good shit. Nothing too fancy. But the photographer was a woman that we've known for a long, like my family has known for a long time. Like, she did my like senior photos and
Mm.
stuff. And then she just did, like, if you go on my Facebook page, all the professional photos that like we just had done with my family, like she did those. So like I don't think we got necessarily like a deal, but we
Sure.
got like a hey. And then yeah, so I really do think the booze was the most expensive thing we paid for out of the whole shebang.
Interesting. Hello, my love.
Although I do think the wedding dress was close. Like we spent a nice chunk of change on that.
I
And
will not see hers.
I did not until the day of.
Same. Did you do a first look?
No, that's stupid. Don't do that.
We're not doing it, but that's
Don't do it.
I that's one of the things I was like vehemently against.
No, there are a lot of things I'm vehemently against, and I will tell even my closest, dearest friends.
Do tell.
Obviously, you all know about my best friend Steve. Um, I wasn't even in Steve's wedding party, so we're not that close. So, I mean, like we're close, but we're not. But we went to his wedding, and they did a first look, and they did all their pictures before the ceremony. And I remember I said to him, like, they got married 3 years ago, I think. And I remember I said to him like a year ago, I was like, "You're an idiot. That's dumb. That like takes all the excitement out of it." Like, I will never
I
forget.
agree.
I will never forget spending the day before we got married, waking up with Maggie and just being like, "Holy shit, tomorrow we're getting married." And then going through the day, going to do the rehearsal dinner, and the rehearsal and everything, having a great time, and then separating, leaving each other, and that like 12 hours from like not more like 15 hours from like 9 p.m. to like 1 p.m. when we got married was the most stress inducing hours of my life. Like, even more so than like Maggie being in labor. Like, that was like, but you need that. You need that time to like self reflect, hyperventilate a little bit.
So what you're saying is abandon her in high stress moments.
Yes.
I can do that.
She's got plenty of people. What I will say though is be very purposeful of the people you're spending time with in between that time.
Someone just told me, I think it was my barber who was a character.
Oh, so this
told
isn't
me,
like a guy you see all the time.
no, I like my normal guy was busy and I really needed a haircut because we're going on vacation tomorrow. Tomorrow. And so I went and saw a random guy. He was interesting, but he said after the ceremony and before, just like take time to yourselves before you get ready for the onslaught of, oh my gosh, hello. Oh my God,
Woo.
Tim, shut up.
Yeah, I know. No, and it wasn't so much the yes, I agree with that. But for me, it was more so I slept at my parents' house because that's where I lived. And I remember waking up that morning, and me and my dad went to where we were having the reception to help set up for all of the music. So we did not get a DJ, we did not get a band. All we did, and this is actually one of the things we saved the most money on, was we made a playlist with Apple Music and we plugged in a computer and hit play. And it was the best thing we could have done. So, Anna, if you're listening and you want to save thousands of dollars, trust me, it's fine. And you put all of the hits. And you put stuff that like people our age will like. Oh. Ooh.
Go on.
Well,
And
you haven't paid anything yet.
We got something.
And you put all the stuff that we like young people will like. but then you sprinkle in like your Hotel Californias and your like stuff that like the older people will like and enjoy.
California.
Yeah, man.
It's a
Absolutely.
great song. It's just an odd one to pull out of thin air and be like,
Oh, beautiful song. Or like Living on a Prayer, throw that in there too. Beautiful stuff. And then you throw in a couple randos that only you guys like. Like Maggie and I played a Panic at the Disco song that we were like, yeah, let's go. But anyway, tangent aside, we went there to help set up for that, and it was just a guy from our church lent us some speakers, and we plugged in the stuff, and we got it rolling, and it was great. But specifically, what I remember is driving home from there to go home to get in my tux, and that like 10-minute drive with just my dad was a very memorable moment of like him saying like, this is the last time we're going to be alone together before you're married. Here's my final piece of advice.
run.
Yeah, right. Get out now. Run away immediately. So that's why I say like spend that time like when Anna is spending time like with her bridesmaids and her maid of honor and her mom and hopefully your mom and like doing like hair and makeup and doing all that stuff and like spend that time with your dad, your brother, your groomsmen. Like that needs to be a very like purposeful
Probably
time.
sleep in that day, but
well, you won't be able to, so trust me.
I'm gonna be kind of tired, so
you will be tired and you will be sick. Trust me.
I think I'm gonna sleep.
I don't think I ate. Oh, I didn't. There's a great photo. If you scroll through my Facebook, there's a great photo of me in my tux eating a McDouble.
Fire. What'd you say? Did you cry?
When she came down the aisle?
Ever while you were eating the McDouble?
I don't think so.
When she was walking around.
Yeah. When he was eating the McDouble.
The most emotional I got during the whole thing was during like speeches and stuff. Like when my best man gave a speech and when
Steve.
No, Steve wasn't one of my groomsmen, but I wasn't one of his. So I would say that was probably the most emotional I got then because it was the best man, my best man, and then Robert was Maggie's man of honor or whatever. He's dead to us now, but not actually. Well, anyway, and then I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly, both my dad and Maggie's dad said something too. And Maggie's grandma had like recently passed away, and like so there was just like a lot of emotions in the air and stuff. I feel like if anything, Maggie and I laughed like way more. Like you were talking about before, like societal stuff, like telling you what you're supposed to do, like money wise or everything. There's that pressure in the ceremony as well. And I wasn't gonna fake cry. You know what I mean? Like, but I do remember
If I don't get punched at some point during the ceremony, I didn't do it right.
If one of these days I'll have to show you if you guys come and visit, show you our wedding video. There's a moment where I don't remember what was going on. The pastor was saying something, but we're standing up on the stage and we're holding hands. And this was we got married like 5 days after Avengers Infinity War came out on Blu-ray. And we watched it like every day that week, including the day of our like rehearsal dinner and everything. And there was a moment during the ceremony, and you can see it on the wedding video, where I just start smiling and she says, "What?" And you see me lean in and whisper in her ear, "I'm thinking about the Avengers." And I just say that, I whisper that in her ear, and she kind of like whips her head back. And so there's like random moments like that. But yeah, you have to have those, like, you have to have the Nick and Anna moments. Don't cry, or don't be mad that he didn't cry.
Tell me this thought, because she's against it, and I really want to do it.
Mhm.
So during the first dance,
Okay.
it's like, oh my god. During the first dance, like halfway through after we're like dancing and whatnot, I'd like to like spin her out
Okay.
and then spin her back in, leading into a clothesline.
Mm.
And then she falls on the floor, and then the music changes to like John Cena's intro song. And then all the old people who we have not told about this, like, faint.
An abusive
then-
marriage already. Oh,
And I go up to my groomsmen and I start high fiving them because they're all in on it. So like high fiving them. Meanwhile, like two
She's
of Amy's
bleeding on the
bridesmaids go
floor.
out. One picks her up, the other gives her a chair, and while I'm high fiving, she comes up and hits me with the chair, and then we do like a whole thing.
So, genuinely,
Yeah.
if you did something like that, it would be fucking awesome. Do I think you should do that? No.
Then
But if
then
you
everyone
guys,
like
if you guys independently planned that,
yes,
you would be legends. So
you could be legends. That's not
You-
even all of it. That was only half of it. Then, we get up and we go, thanks everyone, like, haha, like, that's so funny.
Yeah.
And we go sit down and eat the salad or whatever. And then it's time for like the father-daughter dance.
Well, that would be. Would that be before?
No, our first dance is definitely first. I would think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't remember.
So then, society, we can do whatever we want. So then she's dancing with her dad, and then all of a sudden a record scratch, dun, dun, and I come flying out from the
John Cena.
round 2.
That's too far.
So.
Do you guys know what your first song or what your song is going to be?
We do, but I'll keep that under wraps.
I love it. Is it something that you just like randomly pulled, or is it because you went to like a Noah Khan concert?
Yeah, we hit iPod Shuffle.
Nice.
The next song that came up, so we will be dancing to Ice Ice Baby.
So it's just going to be, I got your picture, I'm coming with you, dear Maria, count me in. Oh man,
that would have been a great one. Yeah. So yeah, wedding stuff. It's gonna be fun.
It will be fun. That's and honestly, the biggest piece of advice that I have is have fun. A lot of people, I am of the opinion that the wedding is for the couple. It is also for all the people that you are inviting. But
What's your opinion on kids at the wedding?
They should absolutely be there.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the ceremony. I could vibe with okay, if you're gonna go hard like after 10 p.m., like maybe kids get out of here, but even like they're gonna leave before that anyway. So like I don't think you need to put an official restriction on it. What? Not who?
They're not gonna leave on their own.
No, I know, but the people, if they bring a kid, like they're gonna go home with their kids. They're gonna be tired. Like,
well, that's the point.
All I'm saying is I was expecting our wedding to like go forever, and it didn't. And it wasn't because like it was lame or anything. It was just like it ended. Like it naturally met its conclusion.
Great.
You know, like well before like it got to a point where we were like, do we got to tell the kids to get out of it? Like, you know what I mean?
Like Captain Kirk in Star Trek Generations.
Correct. I don't know what you're saying, but correct.
He dies.
Oh.
Naturally meets his conclusion.
Oh, nice.